Japanese fashion Jirai Kei press-on set. Welcome to Tiny Joy's. We're making this beautiful press-on set. Jumping right in. I didn't have coffin, so I'm taking stilettos and I'm making it into a long coffin. Now I'm prepping the nail with après tip primer. I prefer this to filing. Okay, cook it. Now I'm using base coat and straight into the mold. I'm using the liner to fill out the mold, but it actually, you can just use gel polish. You kind of have to be careful to make sure you cure it on both sides. Now I'm scraping excess polish as much as you possibly can to clean it up. So now I scrape too much, adding some back in, and I have to switch to a smaller tool because keeps on lifting the polish and I have to keep on adding. You want to try to clean up as much of the excess polish off the mold so your mold comes up clean, or your pattern rather comes up clean. So here I am digging out all the excess and I do not clean up enough. Applying a base gel now to be able to lift the mold. Onto a main color, dusty mauvey pink and black are the two main colors of Jirai Kei. I'm doing rough blend with a brush because it's going to be like a slouchy legging. Here's my mold that's ready. I did not bake this mold on both sides and it didn't cure properly. So next time I would use jelly black and color it more if I need to. Also, I having to cut out the parts that I didn't wipe well enough. Also needed to do a better cleanup. But here we go. There's my 3D lace. I'm adding the second coat of a base color of mauvey pink with black. Again, rough blend. Adding a little bit more black. It's supposed to represent the shoe, so I kind of want it to be really dark. And bake onto the next mold, doing the belt buckle. So that is the shoe belt buckle. It's much easier to clean up in a single mold like that. And now I'm going to try to install this lace. So I'm just basting it onto tacky layer and measuring it out. And here I'm deciding to cut it in half because it needs to be spaced closer together for the size of the nail. I'm applying base coat and now I'm putting it just on the base coat, the lace. So the bow can now come up much higher to the lace and I'm much happier with that. Here's my slightly undercured belt shoe buckle going on. It's slightly oversized. Here it is cured and wiping off the tacky layer because I'm going to put on a sticker, little heart sticker on a shoe. Secure it with a silicone tool. Now using silver, pinky silver liner to fill in the buckle and add little grommets onto the belt. I'm loving how this looks. Now I'm flash curing this, filling in the bows with a base color to enhance the 3D look of the bow so it pops up a little bit better. You can see, wiping it clean, admire the composition for a second, flash cure, and now on to the top coating. I'm using Crazy Top Thick Gin B to fill everything in and secure 3D elements into place. Onto caviar beads right now to represent grommets. Jirai Kei is kind of ultra feminine with a twist of a dark side style. So I'm imagining in my head a blouse with grommets with the lace, satin lace going through it. Now I'm using very thin top coat to top coat everything without losing a 3D texture. This top coat is from Timu by Lavender Violets, and I love it very much because it's super, super fine and thin, but very shiny. So I'm just making sure that everything is well covered. On to the next nail. This baby pink is to represent a young skin of a young girl. It's got a very slight shimmer, and we're working on the blouse's neckline, wiping off tacky layer, placing the neckline, blouse's neckline sticker, cutting it off. So make sure that it's slightly in, not sticking out past the press-on nail itself. Here into the belt shoe buckle. Cut off a little bit excess. Now we put in a Jean B top coat to place the diamond that represent the necklace. And here is the necklace itself. I really love those caviar beads chain because then you can just snip it off and not spend 55,000 hours onto placing every caviar bead by itself. Belt buckle for the shoe, adjusting it, wiping off a little bit of an excess spill of a thick top coat and cook it. Now on to the next nail. This one is a thumb. It's going to have a heart necklace with a little bit of a frame. Think I have a belt buckle on this one already. Snipping off the chain. Oh man, look how fun this looks. I love it. On to the next nail now. I'm going to add this silver, pinky silver liner, and I'm deciding to add it also on the chain itself because I decided it's not blingy enough and I really needed that to be fantastically sparklish. So wipe off excess. Now fill in a buckle. Add a little grommets to the belt. Needed to use a dotting tool to have a little bit heavier dots for the belt grommets here. I'm loving how this nail is turning out. Very, very pleased with myself here. Adding grommets to the other nail buckle. And now on to finishing up everything with a final top coat. I'm top coating jewels also because I don't want them to get scratched, but I'm blotting off the excess top coat to make sure it doesn't pull anywhere on the buckles to preserve the elements of the 3D and also the cut of the stones. Here I am blotting it off the second nail. I really love the heart shape. Here they are in their beautiful glory. And here's a finished picture. Onto the pinky nail now. I have a base color applied already, so I'm starting with a 3D bow. And this is jelly mauve with a little bit of a heart gel with sparkles to add a bit of a 3D to represent kind of silky, lacy blouse drape in the neckline. And I'm going to encapsulate everything with a beloved Gin B thick top coat. I decide that I need to add more 3D drapey elements to accentuate drape and fabric. Flush cure, and now adding matte top coat to further add depth to the fabric folds. And here I'm finessing really to create some depth. And here we go, there's ready pinky. And here's my entire set finished. Thanks for watching. take time for your tiny joys. Please come back to check out my other videos inspired by J-fashion. I already made a long shot of Tenchi Kaiwai, and the next set I'm working on is Decora. Please like and subscribe and have a great day.